gather round, it's time to hear the vibe. We're dropping truth, no need to hide. Welcome to the spot where the real talk unfolds. Major insights, wait till you behold. Tiara leads the way, shining like a star. With Ron and Tiffany, they gon' raise the bar. Soulful rhythms, we're here to inspire.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Spot Real Talk. My name is Tiara.
I'm Tiffany.
And I'm Ron.
And we are back today for another recap of Reasonable Doubt. This is season 3, and we are going to be recapping episode 4 this week. So before we get started, please make sure you subscribe to our channel, like this video, and click that notification bell. You never know when we might have some surprises up our sleeve. So that's very important. Also, make sure you follow us on all of our social media platforms at The Spot Real Talk. Now, this episode was titled Friend or Foe. So I'm really excited to get into it because we got some very pertinent information this episode. And I'm like, oh man, this might change some things. It's definitely going to change some things. So let's go ahead and jump in. We heard last week about Ozzie's sister and how she was the one that was supplying the drugs. And so Jax went over there and confronted her this week. And she was basically pressing her to confirm what Daniel had relayed, the fact that she was indeed supplying Ozzie the drugs. And like Jax, I do feel like Ozzie's sister has been withholding a lot more information. Like when she gave up the contact for the drug dealer friend Byron, and she was like, oh, it's an old number, but I'll see what I can do to get his new contact. I'm like, she's still withholding stuff, and it's not helpful for the situation. I don't believe that she didn't have his updated contact.
I don't believe that. And I feel like she playing Daniel. Maybe she like him, maybe she doesn't, but I feel like poor Daniel is being played, and she cozying up to him so she can stay close to the case and things like that. I don't trust her at all.
Well, she might be playing Daniel, but he playing her right back.
I mean, to tell you, so they got a good ball game going, so I don't know who's going to win.
Yeah, Daniel shocked me this episode because I was kind of like, we heard him talk about this girl that he was really interested in, and it seemed like his interest was very genuine. And so they were all cozied up on the couch this episode, and getting close. And Ozzie seen that, and I'm like, "What you doing, sis? Like he on my legal team. You can't be doing that." But before that situation happened, Daniel was able to get a big piece of information out of Ozzie's sister when, sister was talking about how Ozzie has all of these journals that he keeps or whatever. And so we seen later on that Daniel was able to lie about, something he left in the house and he needed to get in there. But he really took that whole box of journals, and there was a bunch of information in there. So I was really shocked at Daniel. I was like, he might be getting played, but he also know how to play the game too. He gets the job done.
Listen, I think he does care. I think he does really like her, but at the same time, he still got to do his job. So I think, and especially I think Ozzie saying that, like, what you doing? He's part of my legal team. That might have jolted him to reality too. Like, you know what?
Yeah,
I need to watch him.
What is his sister's name? Is it Sally? It's not Sally, is it?
It's Kristen.
Is it Kristen? Kristen.
Kristen.
I don't know. I don't know if she's playing him or he's got the upper hand on her, because you don't give up the information where the key is to the house, if you are, incognito trying to weigh out Daniel. I thought that was a big move. And then the fact that she just inadvertently told him that Ozzie keeps these journals, and that's another thing that you wouldn't do if you were, if you were in clandestine. I don't know why I can't say that word, but you know what I mean. So it kind of not makes sense. I think if anybody's playing and I don't think Daniel's playing her either. Daniel has a real crush on her.
I think he does too.
Yeah, and so it's going to be interesting how this plays out.
Well, I got a question for y'all with Kristen, because she seems so this. Oh, I don't know if she's deceptive, but she definitely has some ulterior motives going on. She's got something going on the background. But I was wondering why she told Daniel about the journals. Do you think she is purposely trying to push him in that direction?
I think so.
I thought so.
I think, well, even if she isn't, I think she realizes that there's more to the story and she does have to help out because she would be helping her brother in the long run. So, but again, like you, it doesn't make sense that somebody would say, oh, yeah, the key to the house is to the right under this and da da da. And oh, look, he has a lot of journals. What do you think he's going to go in and do? He's going to
Right.
look for those journals. So there's something nefarious about this whole thing. I just don't know what it is.
I was wondering if she, I was like, did she write the stuff in the journals? Like, did he really? Are they really Ozzie's journals? I just thought the way she just was so
Forthcoming.
forthcoming. I don't trust her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I don't
I
trust
was. Y'all are picking up what I'm putting down because I'm
her.
like, I don't know about her, Kristen.
Mm-mm.
She
Mm-mm.
something else is going on with her.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they're two California nerds. That's what I picked up. They're just two California nerds. But then again, like I said, I there is something. I just don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I'm wondering. I mean, he said she,
Yeah.
and
But
judging from this episode, it looks like the she might be
Monica.
Monica.
Monica, aka Brandy Evans. I'm still wondering if it's still another she. I'm wondering if Kristen. I don't know.
Yeah, I was thinking about Daniel reading out the journal entries, and it kind of started off where he was basically Ozzie was basically saying like he feels betrayed by Wendy, and he was also saying that he let Monica come over, and I guess it's the night before the trial starts or whatever. But I'm just like, was it a situation where he was betrayed by Wendy? And then the introduction of Monica, because she seems like she's really throwing herself at Ozzy, at least from what we're seeing right now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, could it be a jealousy situation? Because based on his journal entry, this abuse has been happening since he was at least 13.
Exactly.
Yeah, and so it's been a long, probably like at least a decade of abuse going on. So if that's the case, though, it have been a situation where maybe Monica was jealous of Wendy coming in and taking up all of Ozzy's time and attention.
Well, look at it this way. How long had Wendy and no, how long has that relationship been? I know she was working with, for him but how long has she known him? Was he young when she got together with him? Because I think she's like 10 years older than he is. So,
Yeah,
You're
she
talking about
was.
Monica.
She's older.
come on,
No,
Wendy.
he's talking about Wendy. Like how long was
Oh,
he and Wendy together? She was 10 years older than him.
Yeah.
She
okay.
was his stylist too.
Yeah.
So how long was she
So that
his
would make her
stylist? And how
20,
long were they together?
right? That'd make her 23 if he's 13. Now, let's just suppose she might have had something to do with.
I don't think she was in the picture that long.
I don't know. That's why I asked. And
As I said, I don't think Wendy was in the picture that long. I mean, like I said, it could be Monica, but I still feel like because Kristen was so forthcoming with Daniel and stuff, Monica may be a red herring.
I
I
was
Mhm.
mean,
wondering the same
because
thing.
yeah, she coming on to him now. He a grown man.
But that's the
He a
point.
grown man, and
But
So
that's the whole point.
she may be a red herring.
Maybe there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's reasonable doubt too. So they make it seem like one thing and it turns out to be something entirely
It's
different.
episode 4, right?
Yeah, because based on this episode, I was about ready to give Monica the hands.
Well,
Because I'm
she's still getting the
like,
hands because she came over there and started fooling with him. So she needs the hand and drugging him up. So, yeah, she gonna get the hands from me. Oh, no, no, no question.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. So, but I'm just like, I don't know that she was involved in Wendy's murder. That's what I'll say.
No, I don't
Um,
think that. I don't think that at all. I think
Yeah.
it's that guy he was talking to in episode 3,
Alex.
Alex,
mhm.
and that's the one they need to find, not this other guy. They need to
Yeah.
find Alex and talk to him because I think he has more to do with it than what the other guy, Byron or whatever his name is.
Mhm.
Um, So it'd be interesting once we cut and here again, we didn't find out any more about Alex. So they're kind of stretching that along. So
Hmm.
stretch that out until, that shoe drops and it hasn't dropped yet. So that kind of made me wonder because I thought we'd find out more about Alex this episode and we didn't.
Yeah, but they throwing this Byron guy in there as a distractor too. That's why I'm like, Kristen, I got my eye on her. I think she got more to do with it than what she's leading
I
on.
do
And
too.
that's why she's trying to stay so close to Daniel to get the scoop on how close they're getting.
Yes, because she is even asking him about the case. So I was like, uh-huh. She's trying to butter up Daniel so she can find out about the case. I don't trust Kristen either.
Yeah. I was happy for Ozzy though that he got to reveal his truth to his family this episode. And that was a strategy that Jax kind of put together where she was kind of letting people know Ozzy's story and then feeling out their responses. So she did it first with the people in the office and they were kind of like, oh, well, now that we know this added piece of the story, I actually have some sympathy for him.
Okay. Okay. I mean, once again, the lawyer-client confidentiality thing. I was like, okay, I get what she was doing. She was doing a little informal focus group
Exactly.
so
Yeah.
she can see.
Mhm.
But I was like, but that is something that is between a lawyer and a client, and you're not supposed to violate that confidentiality. And when she said that to him, I'm like, what do you think? What if I told you that and stuff? And she was like, oh, is that what really happened to him? I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm just like, that. I
Anybody
thought
could
that
have
was a
ran to the
violation.
media with that.
Well, except
Uh,
that she never said it was Ozzy she was referring to. She made a hypothetical.
It
So,
could be
she did
inferred.
say, yeah, she did say Ozzy. She
well,
said
she didn't say
Ozzy
Ozzy
was.
was doing XYZ and how would you feel about him doing it? She said, how would you feel about someone who is blah, 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 and da, 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 da. So she gave a
Need to go
hypothetical.
back and watch the episode. She said Ozzy.
She
She said
mentioned Ozzy.
Ozzy. She said the other, and she said, "Oh, is that what happened to him? I would
Well,
feel this."
the woman was like, I guess she was putting two and two together because I know
She
Jack.
said, she said Ozzy. Now you can go back and watch
But
the
you're saying that
episode.
she said Ozzy was doing the drugs and Ozzy, you said no. Oh, I see. Well, what she said was, how would you feel? So here again, she was asking a question.
Uh-huh.
She wasn't confirming anything, but she was asking a question. How would you feel if that's conditional?
It was a leading
So,
question, though. She was
well,
being
It was
very
a leading
suggestive.
question, and she said Ozzy. She said
I'm
Ozzy,
saying,
and she
I'm
and so
saying,
and the woman said, "Oh, is that what happened?
and
And
that's
if
why I'm
so,
saying,
I would be." That's what, but
that's
it's
why I'm
but
trying to change
that's
my story to
still
say that she said, "How would you feel if I told you blah 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 blah?" I'm almost sure I will go back and look at that piece, but I
uh-huh.
know Jackson's smarter than that, so that's
She
why
is smart. Listen,
no, I
she's an
said
awesome
smarter than
lawyer.
to
I'm
just
just
give up
saying, but we
that
know.
information. I said just she's smart enough to not just go guns blazing and put odd
No,
stuff in the street because that woman will go back and tell her friends and her family and the next day look, we're 60
what?
degrees of separation. By the time the next day rolls around, everybody gonna know that,
Yep.
you know what I'm saying.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. I know that Jackson's smart and stuff, but we also know that she can like to win the case. She can bend the rules a little bit here, and we saw that ever since season one.
Yep.
She's willing to do whatever to. And so when she did that, I was like, that's the only thing I was like, I get where she was going with it, but I was like, ooh, the lawyer client confidentiality thing is being crossed right now.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
definitely pushes the line, I would
Mm-hmm.
say.
I
And
mean, she does some stuff, but it's all within the
No, no. Like
plausible plausible deniability. When she does stuff, it's generally plausible deniability.
she a little out of bounds on that one.
yeah,
Just
she
a little
is.
because she hadn't even confirmed with like she was telling Ozzy that after the fact, she was basically saying that I think that this will help you since we don't have any alibis for you yet. I think that swaying public opinion will go far in helping you
Yeah.
if you were to come out with this information. So she consulted with her team first and let that woman in the office know that little detail
before
before she confirmed with
before
Ozzie.
talking to Ozzie. Before talking to Ozzie, that's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm getting
Listen, and if a client was to say like, "Hey, she violated my confidentiality and stuff. This is something that was supposed to be between me and her, and she told XYZ."
Yeah, it's not a
at.
good
That's
look.
grounds. That's ethics. That's going to the.
Yeah, I would like to see that. Well, I don't think that. Well, I don't know. Y'all out there, which you're going
Comment section.
going with it. So I know y'all pick. And Tiara, you on her boat, right?
I definitely think Jax violated a little bit there.
So you going with me or you going with the girls? Yeah, I got.
Look. Oh, look. We'll put the terminology for the lawyer client confidentiality clause in the comments if necessary.
Right. Now, it did actually work out though, because Jax was able to get Ozzie on board, and he did reveal his truth first to his family. So I was really interested to see his parents' reaction, because I know that they are very hands-on with his career. And so the fact that they did not know at all, that kind of surprised me a little bit. But I did appreciate their response and how supportive they were with Ozzie. At first they were kind of like questioning who it is and why you won't tell us, but Jax was like, let him reveal how much he wants to reveal. To which Ozzie didn't really want to say who, but he let them know that it was a woman at least.
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead.
I wasn't surprised that they didn't know, because a lot of times when people don't go forward, when they come forward, they don't always tell the parents and stuff. It's like, and
Yeah.
like and 70-some% of people who've been abused and stuff, sometimes they don't come forward at all.
Well,
Like, even
especially when it's a woman abusing a man, that's
mm-hmm,
not seen
mm-hmm.
as abuse usually.
Yeah.
So
child abuse though, so
it is. Yeah, it is.
It makes it a slightly different feel. But what she tried to do that evening, coming over to Ozzie's house, he's a grown man, like you said, Tim. He's a grown man now, so he rejected her. Now, how far did he go? I don't know. I don't know if that because
Oh no, because she was calling him to come to bed when the lights went down at the end of the episode.
mm-hmm.
looking, I don't know. I don't know. You stop.
He was in an
Monica,
altered state of
AKA
mind. Yeah. I noticed Jack's reaction too to her Ozzie telling his parents about it, and then them saying how they would have believed him if he had told them back when it happened. And I was thinking about Jax's own situation, how complicated her upbringing was, and especially the stepfather, and the issues that she had with him coming up. And I was like, wow, I know that Jax also tried to say something to her mom about her stepdad, and she wasn't received so well. And so I think that that's why she was so touched by how supportive that Ozzie's parents were, when they were like, we would have believed you, we would have been there for you, whatever. So I was like, wow, that just adds to this complexity of Jax's dad coming back into the picture. Because we seen old Eddie pop up this episode, and I was just like, Eddie, as much as I want to hope that he got a redemption arc, I want to give him the hands, because he just is forceful in his showing up and making people accept him.
Okay.
I'm sorry, he's son. He's son
Lewis. On Lewis.
He's son Lewis. I was like,
ooh. No, Lewis deserved every second of that.
Lewis ain't know who he was talking to.
For one
he
thing,
clearly ain't know.
But here's the thing, Lewis, you got too much dirt under your fingernails to be flexing on anybody, no matter what the circumstances. And then you're gonna go over to where my boy is hanging out. You're gonna flex, and then didn't expect to. No, you got everything you deserved on that and that little thing. So and I'm like, what is wrong with you, Lewis?
Yeah, I understand him wanting to protect Jax, but I was like,
my point
that was not the way to go.
Oh, and I'm sorry, but look, he messed up on all fronts. Remember, even the last episode when what's her name? Naya,
Naima.
Naomi,
Naima.
Naima. When he had a chance to say something to Naima about the child, he didn't. He didn't bother to say anything. And we saw how she felt about that in this episode. So,
Mm-hmm.
while he's trying to keep it together with his family, and I appreciate that. But man, I mean, you can't have too many strikes, man. And bringing a baby into a situation is a big strike.
That is a big strike.
Mm-hmm.
That is a big strike. But we talked about that last week
Yep.
with,
I know, but
about the
I'm
fact
going
that
somewhere. But so my point is, if you're gonna hang on, if you're gonna hang Eddie, then you better find the tree next to him and hang yourself.
Yeah, and it was a little situation. The pot calling the kettle black. They both have some issues with their past and their misdeeds.
Well, he wasn't just trying to protect Jax, he was also trying to protect his kids. And what he was saying, I think he said he wanted to see if he was more, more stable first before he had a relationship with them. And I mean, which I don't think for someone who has an addiction, I don't think that was too unreasonable, because a lot of times they can be, inconsistent, and they can be gone in and out, this, that, and the other. So I don't think it was unreasonable for him to say let's wait and see.
It's
No,
not.
I thought their original plan was real good. Like, I would have gone along with that. It's the fact that Eddie inserted himself before they could really feel him out to see if he had changed.
But you can't see what you don't see. And what I mean by that is, if you go, yeah, let's just wait and see, but you never get around to seeing them, you never get around to taking them, say, hey, come on, let's see what you're doing. Let's go to lunch, let's go to dinner, let's have dinner at the house. So you can't see what you don't see. And this is what lingers that problem, that situation on. So Eddie was trying to speed the process up a little bit.
Yeah. You don't show up unannounced, though.
No, you don't.
Well, he didn't know the kid. He didn't know the kid's gonna be there. This is my next point. Yeah. I'm like, what Eddie got going on with Mama? I'm like, is Mama?
They talking a whole lot.
Exactly.
Because when he came over there, he didn't know the kids were there until she told him. He was popping up to see Mama, and I think that's the real deal. I think Mama and Papa are back tipping. They rekindling. Now that what's his name? Frank, what's the husband's name that died or whatever? Was it Frank?
I don't remember.
Well, anyway, now that he's kicked the bucket, I think Mama
picked up another bucket. What can we say?
Yeah, I think Mama I think they rekindling, and I think that's why he popped over there. He probably was coming over there to see her, and then all the kids are here. Added bonus.
I don't care. That's still violation. Whether you thought the kids was there or not, you are not.
If Mama doesn't care, that's
my other problem, because Mom's getting the hands from me too. Again,
no harm, no
Mama Lou, and the fact that she seen Eddie pop up over there, seen him interacting with the kids, and then Jax came home and she ain't say a peep about Eddie dropping in unexpectedly. Jax and Lewis had to find out from the kids that Eddie popped in. So I'm like, oh no, Mama Lou getting the hands.
Okay. You know what? Okay. Yeah. Lewis is getting the hands, because when he did find out, and this is before he popped off on Eddie, when he did find out, you all bent out of shape. Look what the kids were much more congenial. They were happy, asking you if you all need help doing X, Y, and Z. It's almost like they forgot about the concerns that they had prior. Take a win. I mean, you don't always have to deal with the losses here. Take a win. You have a win. The kids.
That was Jackson's
so now what you
right?
That's what Jackson was trying. Jackson was trying to say.
She was like, hey,
let's take this win, and now let's see. Now we can invite him over and see if he's this or whether he's that. But Lewis, man, no, you get the hands from me for this week, bro.
Yeah, I think Lewis was having an ego trip where it's like, first you violate my wife by popping back up in her life unexpectedly, then you violate my house by showing up unannounced, and then you violate my kids by just haphazardly introducing yourself without seeking our approval or like none of that. So I think that Lewis just felt violated all the way around. Despite what happened with his misdeeds, he is still the man of the house. He is still the father, and so I think that he felt like his position in the house was disrespected.
Well,
and then what Eddie said ain't making no better, because he was like, "That's my daughter's house. She paying the mortgage.
She paid the mortgage.
You can't even claim head of household."
Okay. 3 strikes you're out, Lewis. Okay, now I know. Now you done. Now you're not even paying. Okay, look. If Lewis wanted to be the man he's talking about wanting to be, I would have called him up and say, Eddie, what you doing this weekend? Let's go out and hang out, fish. Let's go grab a drink. Let's go do something. Try to get in the man's head and see where he is. But if this is what you want to do, because somebody's got to see where he is at this point. He says he's so he's clean. So at least give him a chance. But you hating on him because of what he did to Jax years and years ago. I got it. Jax gave you, um, she forgave you. Now it's time for you to do some forgiving. And if not, at least try to find out where he is before the whole family gets together.
Well, that's the thing. I don't think Lewis was opposed to forgiveness, because he told Jackson, he's like, Leslie, if you want to feel him out and see when you feel like he's at the right point, then we'll accept him and we'll do all this. But I think that they never got to that point because of how, and so I do understand why Lewis feels like so much is just out of his control. And I think that's very frustrating. So I'm not mad at him being upset now. That approach that he took with Eddie was probably the worst thing he could have done, because now I don't think Eddie's going anywhere, and y'all got to deal with that now.
And Eddie made him look rather small.
Yeah,
Eddie Sunday.
He flamed him up. I mean,
yeah, he did. I was like,
somebody get the fire extinguisher.
Listen, I was like, he ate and left no crumbs.
Yeah. So I was like, man, Lewis got some cleaning up to do with that situation. But whatever Eddie said to the kids, it obviously boded well for them, because I think that Eddie was straight up with them. He was, even when he introduced himself, he was like, yeah, I left your mom, and I neglected her coming up, but I was also an addict, and it was a disease, and I got myself together, and I'm doing so. Like, I think the truth about the whole situation. He didn't sugarcoat nothing. He even told Lou, like, nah, they old enough. They can know.
Yeah.
And so I think that his straightforwardness and his honesty is what fared well with the kids, and helping them to see, like, nothing's perfect. Your parents are your parents. They're going to make mistakes. Things are going to happen. But you see, they work through it. They still together.
Yeah, because I was like, go ahead, Jax. And then Jax had on her little lingerie and had the sexy red playing. And I was like, go ahead. Keeping the fire burning at home.
Girl, that wasn't a fire. She burnt the whole damn neighborhood down.
Yeah.
But I want to get back to Eddie for a minute. When he pulled out, I couldn't tell how much money he had, but when he
had a little wide.
There have been 2 Benjamins. That helped.
That helped us all.
That's what put the train back on the track. When he pulled up and said, well, let me see what I can find out. If I'm right.
Yeah. I mean, he definitely won over the kids. And so it's going to be hard to go back from that. The only thing that can mess up that situation is Eddie himself.
Exactly. And that's the way. And that is exactly the way it should be. But you can't say I'm a forgive somebody, but you don't give them a chance, or you don't try to discover how, is he for real? You got to make him, you got to give him that. If you allow him to that point, to come and have that discussion, you got to allow him a chance to make amends.
Listen, I agree with that. You got to give them, a chance to do that. But at the same time, if you have a parent or a loved one that has an addiction, or I'm trying to choose my words, I mean, it's one thing for that person to disappoint you. Yeah. But if you disappoint my children and make them promises, I have a problem with that. And I think that's one of the things that Lewis is trying to protect them from too. Like, it's one thing you hurt Jax and stuff, that's your daughter. But once you start hurting my child,
Yep.
My children, we
That,
got a
that you can't,
Yeah.
but protection from isolation is not bringing forth the fruit that you're trying to bring in the whole with the whole family.
problem.
I
Yeah.
understand if you're going to protect them, just be close. When Eddie's there, you're there. I mean, it's a way to
Mhm.
protect your family. But
Right.
this isolation thing, and then at the same time saying that talking both out of both sides of your mouth. Either you want him or you don't. And if you do, you got to give him a chance to.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree with that, but I just want to understand about, you know, being careful too.
Be
This
careful.
episode wasn't a good episode for Lewis anyway. I mean, other than the rendezvous he had with Jax,
Yeah.
that I'm sure that was fine for him.
You,
But the
you,
work, the work situation, like
That was a
what
whole mess.
that was a whole mess. Because Jax warned him, like, like, hey, be careful with that ladder, throwing a ladder back to certain
Yep.
people because dude did the whole black man thing and stuff like that. And he trying to get over on Lewis, and Lewis' job is in jeopardy.
Yeah, he threw Lewis right up under the bus. I
Yeah,
was
he
like,
did.
man.
look, he played the black card, and Lewis accepted. And now y'all talking about, oh, you got to go. He was just protecting himself at this point.
No, he was gonna take somebody down with him. If
Well,
I
that's
gotta
my
go,
point. He's
I'm going
protecting
out
himself.
swinging.
And theoretically, what he said kept him there for that at least that period of time.
Yeah, because they sure
But
enough didn't fire him like I thought they would have.
but it's also
Oh, because he exposed Lewis. He was like,
Yeah, I
yeah,
know.
Lewis had me working after hours. He's training me
not
after
being
hours, and I'm
paid.
not getting paid. That's labor stuff like that.
Yeah.
So he knew what he was doing. So and because for me, I know a little bit about software development or coding.
C C plus plus or something.
C++,
C yeah.
if I didn't know C++, no, I wouldn't even bother to take the job. So he was in on something from the very beginning. He's a slick dude. He knew what
He
he was.
saw he saw that he interviewed with Lewis. He saw Lewis was a brother, and
Yeah, he
that's
played the
why
black
he
card.
was like, "Oh, I'm
Yeah,
just gonna
Mhm.
slide in here
I'm just gonna
and
play the role." I mean, and then when he didn't realize it, I mean, when Lewis realized he didn't know it, then he pulled the black card. He wouldn't have done that with that the white dude, the manager and stuff.
Right.
He would have never had that approach with him.
The thing that caught me was after that whole situation went down and he came back into Lewis's office and he was, Lewis was basically reading him down like, look, get it done or else, and he was like, oh, it's like that. I'm like, how else do you expect it to be after what you just did?
Listen, I read that to be a threat because the
no,
way he switched up on Lewis and told the guy when he had me working and stuff, I said, "Oh, he's a slickster, and
yeah,
he'll lie on the spot." So when he said, "Oh, it's like that," I said, "Oh, I hope he don't do something to jeopardize Lewis' job," because when he said he
Yeah.
like that, I'm like, "Oh,
the
this
question
dude is shaky."
the question is, what will he do if Jax has to fire him? Because he came in slick. So,
Lewis.
you know,
Lewis.
yeah, I'm saying, oh, I'm sorry, did I say Jax? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, so he came in slicking Lewis. So it just depends. If Lewis fires him, he'll probably either use that trump card about employment and overtime and all this other stuff, and he may put up, I don't know, may
He
go.
filed a complaint, and
Yeah,
then he
Well,
could say that, and he could say that Lewis allowed him to do this, that, and the other and stuff. And then anytime the company is gonna have to pay out money or whatever, that guy gonna turn on Lewis.
yeah.
Well, I was thinking about that whole situation with why he got in trouble in the first place because he had a non-compete and he was thinking, "Oh yeah, I thought enough time had gone by."
He knew
That
it.
might be Lewis's, back, that joker he got in his back pocket that can protect him to get that guy up out of there.
Well, yeah,
If he keep pulling this funny mess, he might be able to go back to Sam's previous company and be like, "Look,
he
I know
violated
y'all
his
had this non-compete agreement. He's already employed over here doing some similar stuff. So
Right, right, right.
that could be something that Lewis can keep as a protection if he need to pull that card out."
The only thing
Dude.
I don't know is what are the ramifications or circumstances when you break a non-compete. Now, I know, I know that you violated their
Jax is a lawyer.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm saying in terms of the company, how far could they take it? Is it a
The
fine, jail time? Is it, I don't know
yeah.
all the factors about it, but yeah, that might be a card that Lewis can play if this dude wants to be foolish enough to continue down this road that he seems to be so comfortable with right now.
Yep. Yeah. So Lewis had it rough this episode. I ain't gonna lie.
Uh-huh. He did.
Lewis
He
had
did.
it
Because
rough.
even the way Naomi came at him, we talked about that last week. We said
Naima. Yeah, she
Naima,
went
because
in.
she was mad at him. She was, you lied, this, that, and the other. And I was like, whoop. We said that. We said she was going to end up having an attitude with him.
Slamming doors and talking about, why is this family never good enough for neither one of you? I was like, woo, no more sting.
I know. I was like, ooh. When she first slammed the door, I thought Jackson was going to do what she did with Spencer. Remember when she took the
Door
doors off
off.
the hinges? Off the hinges? I thought she was going to do that to her. But then when she realized why she was really mad, I'm like, uh-oh.
Yep. She's like, what can I do?
I would have lost that door. Come down with a foot. We would have kicked that door in. There's one I got to replace. But what about this little gathering with the girls and we
This host, are you talking about Jackson, the girls?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, yes.
We need to go over that because how do you feel about you, what's her name?
Got into it.
That's the one. Because that's
Okay.
why I'm trying to remember with Sally because they about to come to some fisticuffs it looked like, but well, do you think Sally was correct in saying what she said about Jax?
That Jax was always a hater.
Yeah.
I don't know that she's a hater. I think that Jax definitely was acting, or what she was saying was in Sally's best interest. Because Sally bragging like, "Oh, I'm back, sleeping with Chris, and he's still mad or whatever, but it's good." So and she just going off bragging about how good it was. But Jax is like,
Y'all in the middle of a divorce.
he could be sleeping with anybody. Like, are you being safe? Do you know if he's sleeping with anybody else? She was asking like questions that a genuinely concerned friend would ask. And for some reason, Sally interpreted that as hate because, oh, you over there happy now with Lewis again. So you feel like because you happy, nobody else could be happy, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, if you call sleeping with your ex, who you don't know is, exclusive, with you or anybody else, and you bragging on how that is, knowing that y'all are about to have a divorce, I don't think that's nothing to be jealous of or to hate on.
It's not the flex that she thinks it is.
But there are too
she just demonetized.
There are too many pots and kettles in this whole story because Jax, you don't have a straight laced life to be talking about anybody sleeping with anybody. So you've been sleeping around yourself. So my point is, if that's what Sally wants to do, then let Sally do it. I mean, it's fine to want to correct Sally, but you've done some.
Yeah, I definitely think that Jax should have been asking herself a lot of those questions back when she was sleeping around.
Exactly.
But I'm hoping that she has evolved from that, and that's why she's asking these questions
give
now.
Her a chance to evolve and give Sally a chance to evolve. I mean, but don't. But it's that man bashing that she was doing with Sally's ex or whatever. And
I don't think she was man bashing. She wasn't man bashing.
But, okay, so you're bringing up whether this man is sleeping around, and you don't even know whether he's sleeping around. So that's my whole point. He could.
She's telling her friend to protect herself. That's all. She's just saying that you don't know if you're not exclusive. If you're not exclusive, she's saying protect yourself. That's all.
She's a grown ass woman. Let that grown ass woman do whatever she's gonna do.
And then the next dinner, they'd be over there crying around the wine glasses, talking about I got the STD or something.
Yeah.
Grab a tissue box and you hand it over.
Well, I was like, that was definitely a mess. Sally got some unresolved issues. I think that she has some misdirected anger in that situation. Whatever she was feeling towards Chris and them and their divorce or impending divorce or whatever, I think that she was expecting Jax to be like, oh yeah, rah rah, like supportive of it. But the fact that Jax was asking questions and kind of being more on the cautious side, she was like, "Oh, you hating." So
I can
Sally
see
got some things to work out.
let's see one question, like maybe, oh wow, you still, you still dealing with him, and let her say whatever she had to say and then let it go. But if you keep following up with questions, that's what got her mad. One question about it, okay. Why are you fooling with him? You
I
all
think she probably can't help herself because she is an
He's a
attorney.
lawyer,
So
yeah.
so sometimes I think sometimes it's hard for people to get out of that mode, the work mode.
Hmm.
Yeah. And also if I'm your real friend and I feel like you doing something that could be detrimental to you, I should be able to tell you without you catching attitude and flipping the script. So
Right.
it's like, how good of friends are we really if you think that I'm hating on you?
But it was,
If that's how you really feel.
I think she thought about the pot and the kettle, the pot calling the kettle black. And so, she's like,
Who
you,
are you to be telling me about sleeping around?
Listen, I
I
think
get
she's
that
still
too.
feeling guilty because she put her house up for what's it called after her husband told her not to and
Yeah.
stuff, and that led to the demise of her marriage.
exactly.
Yeah.
That her own actions. So I think that she's still dealing with her own guilt, and she's
Yep.
projecting on Jax.
And it could,
Yep.
That's what I think it
it could
is.
because he didn't seem like a bad dude.
He
So,
wasn't
He
a bad.
wasn't.
He
but
told her up front not to do it with the house. She did it anyway
right.
and stuff. And then that was the demise of their marriage
Yep.
after that.
But
So Sally, yeah, her anger is misdirected.
that's why I said kind of man bashing, because from what I gathered from the brother, he was, straight laced brother, dealing with the home and all that. And I'm sure if he is out there, he's probably protecting himself. So the
That's a
She
idea,
wasn't man bashing though. She
right.
wasn't saying that
I
about
mean,
his character.
I'd
She
have
was
kept, I would have kept whatever he's doing privately or without her knowledge out. Just ask her, why are you going back? And maybe that would have avoided a near fight that they had at the table. Like,
yeah. Yeah. I was like, ooh, they're about to flip the table.
well, speaking on folks that's having issues with their ex, talking about Bill, because Bill, he was definitely trying to warm back up to Kendra, but I think she clocked his moves because he did have some other motives there when he first came around with the flowers and stuff. He bought the flowers thinking it was their anniversary that day. They first of all were the wrong type. And then the anniversary turned out to be the day before. So Bill was just all wrong. And then to have that go wrong and then turn around and have a favor to ask so that you can get back to work. I think that completely rubbed his ex Kendra the wrong way because it's like, your job is the reason why we're not together anymore. She was basically letting him know, like, I felt alone long before we split. And he was able to turn it around though. Because when he came back the second time, he came correct.
He came through. I said, "Oh, he almost in there." I saw
Yep.
how she was looking. She warmed up a little bit. I said, he did right by the kids.
Fellas, it's so simple. It's so simple, fellas.
That's what I was ready to say. When I watched it, I said, see, that's all you gotta do, brothers.
Just be engaged and involved. Bill said that he had reached out to the doctor. He talked to the soccer coach for the kids, and he showed up with dinner so Kendra ain't have to cook.
That's
so I was like,
that's a little effort.
All you gotta do is take some things off her plate, be
a little effort.
I know. Look. After no,
but you've been married a long time.
Long enough to know that there's some things that you just gonna have to do. But I think too, the two of them both being lawyers, because now she's having to write a brief. So yeah, your time is limited. And and at least it gave me some insight of what Bill might have done wrong. Bill may have spent more time than she did, maybe because he's a, more, I don't want to say better lawyer, but
he might be more established. I don't know, maybe.
You say
but at the same time,
putting the job first.
he was putting all the weight of the home and the
And it
kids
might
on
be,
her.
and it may be because of his job. In other words,
But
his
she
job.
has the same job, so
Well,
it's
She
like
has the
not the
same
same.
job, right?
Well, she has the same type of job, but hers may not be as demanding as his. So, and I
You
think
just saying it because he the
lawyers.
man. No,
No, no, no,
no.
no, no. I'm
She,
not saying it because he's a man. Because if she had, because for instance, like Jax is gone all the time. Primarily, I mean, if Jax and Bill were married, they never see one another.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, I think that the balance is what the problem was because we
that's what
both
it is.
have these very, high pressure jobs that might be demanding on our time physically. But if I feel like there's an imbalance in the household where there's three children and kid kids alone, that's a whole part-time job.
right.
So you telling me that I got to do the same task that I do in my 9 to 5 and then come home and switch hats and be full time with the kids, and you over here in the office still doing work? Like that's not a good balance. You got to help
The,
out and contribute to help take things off my plate.
and the worst thing to be like, women can be alone, but the worst thing is feeling alone in a
Mm-hmm.
relationship. And one of the things she said to him this episode was she said, I was alone long before you left.
Yep.
So I was like,
Who knows?
Yeah. And I
yeah,
think Bill
I mean
got the picture though.
that's a common
That's also
statement from women.
that's also a double-edged sword. I mean, because that cuts both ways. I mean, she went deep with that one, and apparently,
But he got the message.
well,
Yeah.
but look, he did what he did, and he, like you said, he brought the food, took care of the kids, yada yada yada. Now what? Looked like she was trying to invite him in to have dinner.
Yeah. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
He shut
and
it
dessert.
down. He shut it down just so she could think a little harder on
Yeah, he did. But she did look like she was trying to invite him in.
Yeah, I think that showed a little glimmer of hope because while they are separated, clearly living in separate households, I think they might still be legally married.
No, they are still married.
it.
That's
Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah.
she said we decided to separate and take some time and stuff. They're still married.
Yeah. And so that's why I think that those actions that he was taking to kind of show her he's serious about changing the situation and turning things around, I think that was enough for her to say, okay, we can maybe open the door again and try to work on this. Because I think that all she was looking for was a little bit of effort, show me something.
Now, if he wants
And the consistency part is where it's going to come
What
in.
can I say? If he wants her to crawl back to him, do it again. And then do it
Yep.
one more time. And she'll be
Mm-hmm.
hollering at your door, talking about where you been, boy.
Mm-hmm.
You need to
Yeah.
come back
As long
home.
as he's consistent. Mm-hmm.
And that's why I'm like, I'm kind of warming up to Bill. I thought he might have been a snake at first. I thought he
Mm-hmm.
might have definitely been out to get Jax. But I think that, what we're seeing with his home life and then even how he's contributing to the case with Jax and whatnot, I think that he is going to prove his worth and actually end up being an ally for her.
And if you stop to think about go ahead, Tiff.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
But if you stop to think about it, he married a sister. And she a sister.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be real strange that he could turn over a new what's the word?
Turn over a new leaf.
No. Turn it would be interesting that he could do Jax in by, you know, um, oh God, it's in my head, but I can't bring it out.
But like just flipping up on her and going
Like
in the
flipping the
snake
script,
route.
that's what I would say, flipping the script on Jax, who is a sister, but she's
Mm-hmm.
married to a sister.
Yeah, because I think for a bit, like at first people were thinking it might be a racial thing or it might be a gender thing, but now we're actually seeing that Bill, he might not be quite that way. Now that we're seeing his home life, I don't think that, race or gender plays into his ambition to be a partner and to try to
No,
win
no,
the
no,
other
no. I
partners
think he just
over.
wants to be a partner. I
Yeah.
think I think he just wants to be a partner. But something that she said, like we are seeing a different side of Bill, and we're seeing that he's more complex. But something that she said stayed with me. So we still gotta watch Bill because she was just like she said, you always have a hidden agenda. Like she said, and I was like, oh, she gave us a little glimpse of his personality. Like she said, so that means we gotta watch him. We gotta watch him. Like even with the Jack situation, if he always has a hidden agenda, we gotta watch him.
Yeah.
You know.
I, I agree. It's still not off the table with the partners. That whole situation is still there, and I think for them, they are highly motivated to get Jax's secret sauce and then get rid of her. So the question is, will Bill be the vehicle that they use to get that done, and will Bill fall for that and go along with their plot?
Right.
What gets my goat is why must there be a secret sauce? Maybe she's just intelligent enough, a go-getter to do and get what she wants out of her work. So
because some people feel like, oh, we're just as good as you. We win cases too.
apparently not.
But see, the thing is, some people just don't understand that it can be a character trait that you and only you possess that is the reason why you're having this success. You might just have God's favor up on you. You never know. And
I
some
told you
people
melanin.
see that.
I said melanin.
Some people see that and they get jealous, or sometimes they not only of your accolades and your accomplishments, but also the way that people receive you. Like some people envy that. And so I'm like, Jax gets a lot of publicity and she has a lot of notoriety. And the fact that she has only been recently added as a partner, while the other partners have been on for quite some time and they don't seem to have that level of publicity or whatever. Envy comes in a lot of different forms for a lot of different reasons.
Yeah, she has the character trait and they got character flaws.
They do. I still think she's going to end up, at the end of the day, it may not be this season, but I think she ultimately going to end up on her own and starting her own firm. And they're going to end up being her competitors. Watch.
Yeah, I think she'll be better off if she does.
Yeah.
But this was a really good episode. A lot going on. Definitely threw some curveballs in there. Now we got to kind of watch out and see what's going to happen, especially with Ozzie's sister, especially with Monica, being the abuser, and we just got to keep going down the rabbit hole with them this season, because I got a good feeling that they did throw us some curveballs a little early on to lead us off our path. We're only in episode 4, so I do feel like they have some more to the story. Definitely some tricks up their sleeve.
I hope so. I like it. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, me too. A lot of people are. I have a whole group chat going on every time. Everybody in the chat. Hey, did you finish the episode? Okay, let me wait 15 minutes so we can talk. They're like, did you see? Blah, blah, blah. Like a lot of people are talking. They're excited about the show. And the theories that are being thrown out there are very interesting. So I do love to see all of the banter. To the viewers out there, make sure you join in on the conversation and drop down in the comments and give us your thoughts on this episode. Also, any predictions that you have regarding our newly received information this episode. Also, subscribe to our channel, like this video, and click that notification bell. Make sure you are keeping up with us and invite your friends and family to join in with our recaps as well. We are also on all social media platforms at The Spot Real Talk, so make sure you do that. But before we get out of here, I almost forgot the hands list, because I've been anxious to get to the hands list, and now I basically done told y'all all the people I had on there, but we gonna reiterate. So the hands list for this episode, I said Mama Lou, 100% Mama Lou getting hands from me, because she could have told Jax like, hey, something happened. Eddie popped up on me. I didn't know he was coming, but the kids met him. He did not say a peep.
She didn't. So,
Mama Lou get the hands.
Lewis, get the hands.
I said Lewis.
I'm on the fence with Lewis. Like, he definitely made some mistakes, but I also understand why he went off. So I'm like, I want to give him the hands.
Right. Okay.
I want to get that Coulter the hands.
Sam
Lewis like that. Sam get the hands.
I'm not sure. Monica get the hands for being revealed as the abuser. She definitely been taking advantage.
I'm gonna give the seat one for Kristen. I don't trust Kristen.
Yeah, Kristen. I'm warming up my seat for Kristen. I ain't gonna put on that yet, but I got her on deck.
Yeah.
She's nerdy. She's rather nerdy, so I don't know. But...
Yeah, that's a front.
Now, I thought that you and Ron might have given Naima the hands, but I think that y'all are cutting her some slack because she is justified in her anger.
Well, no.
Naomi's attitude, she's still a little bit too sassy. She should have been
A lot of
snatched
bit
up.
too fancy. I mean, you don't
Yes,
slam the door in your
Naomi,
face.
yeah. I'm like, Naima still need to be snatched up. But I do understand why she's mad and everything. I know you said, Ronnie, your wife has said that he should have told her right then. I know we all talked about that. We thought that they should have talked to them together.
Mhm.
But they paid a price for waiting to tell the kids.
Mm-hmm.
It could have been worse because Papa Eddie showed up and made things better. So let's see on episode 5 and let's see what happens. But right now, I got him. I'm gonna cover him. He's in my corner. I'm a root for Papa Eddie. So
wow, I'm on the other side of that. Papa Eddie get the hands from me. Because Papa Eddie doing a little bit too much, popping up unannounced over and over again and taking it upon yourself to insert yourself in my kid's life. Nah, bruh.
Papa Eddie, that situation remind me of the Shy, with Trig, Victor, and their mom, because he had the same concerns about her popping in and out and stuff for the family. And I think that's why Lewis feels the same way that he does.
That's why I'm not giving Lewis the hands, because I think he's justified for feeling the way he feels.
Well,
he might have went about it wrong, but he definitely should feel that way. He's trying to be a protector.
Yeah. Sometimes there are consequences to what you do.
Yeah.
Giving them the hands. I'm just giving them the hands because your kitchen is dirty, and before you start talking about somebody else's kitchen, clean up yours and make sure it's clean.
Right. He's just trying to take care of his family. That's all.
Well, he's working on his kitchen. He's trying to mop the floor.
Yeah, he is. He sure is. He's working on it.
And once the kitchen is clean, you can talk away.
Well, we'll see. We're going to make sure that Eddie stays on the straight and narrow.
Right. Now, do we have a nominee for the game ball? I was going to say Daniel because he did get them journals. But I don't know now that he got the journals. I'm like, are they trying to mislead him on purpose? So I don't know. I think I'm going to still give him the game ball, though, for following through on the lead.
That's a point. Whether those journals are misleading. That's a good point. So
that's what I wondered. I told you I don't trust Kristen.
We'll see.
Yeah. I also want to give an honorable mention to Bill because I do appreciate him trying. He got the
message and he put
his words into action. So I was like, okay, Bill is doing what he needs to do to try to get wifey back.
Yes, I agree with that.
Okay. Well, this was a good episode. Can't wait for next week. Absolutely cannot wait. It's what is it? Is it 10 episodes this season? Or are we still 8?
I did read that it was 10.
Okay, because then if it's 10, the next week will be mid-season. So that's usually where we start getting all the bombshells dropped on us. Although this episode was quite a bombshell too, so I wasn't mad at it. Yeah, so just to reiterate, follow us on our social media, follow us on YouTube, drop in the comments and give us your thoughts. Tiff, Ron, y'all got anything else you want to add?
Nope.
I'm clean.
Okay. Well, on that note, we are going to call it a night. Make sure you're back next week for another recap of Reasonable Doubt Season 3. Good night.
Night.
Bye.
Real talk, keep it real in the zone. Voices full of truth, this is where we've grown. So turn the volume up, let the wisdom flow. With Tiara at the helm, it's the way to God. Real talk, keep it real in the zone. Voices full of truth, this is where we've grown. So turn the volume up, let the wisdom flow. With Tiara at the helm, it's the way to. Yo. Each episode, we dive deep in the scene. From hot topics to dreams, living out the dream. We keep it authentic, never fake or phony. In a world full of noise, we'll keep it homely. Ryan brings the heat, got those jokes on deck. While Tiffany adds style, bringing that respect. Together we're a fam, united we stand. On this journey of knowledge, let's take a hand. It's the spark.